My name is Kunbi Tamari, Creative Director of April by Kunbi, and this is Dang Masterclass. Fabric choosing, the way I pick my fabric, like I say, fabric inspires me. So I buy a lot of fabric. I shouldn't be buying as much as I buy, but I buy a lot of fabric. But also the person wearing it. If someone is already a bit chubby, I don't need to add more bulk to that person. Even if I end up making a ball dress or something, it will not be poofy because then I'm adding more bulk to someone that is already chubby. So I try to, or chiffon on someone that is too, just chiffon on someone that is too skinny or someone that is too big. It's adding too much extra fabric to the person's frame. So I always try to just, I don't know if you learn that, but I always try to eyeball what I think will suit someone's silhouette or what fabric will go with a particular design. This were made for a show I did recently, the Lagos Bridal Fashion Week, and I just was very inspired with floral. Actually, I had that fabric before, and that fabric kind of inspired this. All this pink you're seeing it doesn't come with the fabric; it's all hand beaded because I wanted it to flow with the dress. So all this is extra sewing, extra thread, and markers. This is not how the fabric comes. If you can look at it closer. So all those are actually fabric markers. Yeah, so you have fabric markers because I really wanted it. I didn't get the peach shade, and then I used pink beading on it, and I wanted it to be very very I wanted it to be detailed. So normally I would have just used normal bridal satin or a plain fabric here, but I wanted it to look interesting from every angle. There's another one that we've done recently, and this is actually the whole dress lining. So even with the tool, you can still see, I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about, it's on the other side as well. You can still see that there's a pattern to it. So it's just not, it's interesting. You look at it and then you take a second look and there's something else, there's something that interests you there. Here, I was inspired with, I've been seeing feathers a lot and I was like, okay, I want to use feathers for something and I don't want it to be the typical shoulder or puffy sleeves or something. I love this asymmetrical look. I've been doing it for a while now, but since last year, I'm always drawn to doing the off monostrap and asymmetrical look. So, and I changed a little bit on this one to make it like a cold shoulder. You can see I like to show my shoulders because I don't really show a lot of I don't really show that much part of my skin, but I wanted it to be like show some skin up there. But the whole side panel is actually sheer. There's nothing there. I know they're going to chase that bride away if she ever wears it, wears it to a wedding. But it can always be lined with nude. It can always be lined with a different color. I just wanted to have that contrast and design element, and I wanted it to look like she was wearing another dress underneath this dress. So like an optical illusion. Yeah.
Do you have like a special way you take measurements or just a general way?
What's general? How do you take a measurement?
Okay, yeah, you just gave us a tip just
Yeah.
now. Like I know that I assume that my tiniest part is I just have to note where my rib cage is kind of like ending. So I know that like slightly immediately after my rib cage was definitely cinch in.
Mm-hmm.
So
that
what
works.
I
That at the end of it, see, it's what works for you. That definitely works because I never thought, touch my rib cage before, so that definitely works. Some people don't know where their rib cage is. Some people are too fat to feel their rib cage. They can't get to it, but they can always use their elbow and find their their waistline. But I mean, a lot of people don't know what measurements to take. For example, when I'm taking breast point, you hold on breast point, and someone comes and I can see this person's boobs are sagging, or maybe you're not wearing the right bra. I want my dress to fit very well. I tell them use your left hand to hold your bra strap up to where I think looks appealing, not where it's like, because at the end of the day, most of my dresses, obviously I can't say it on Instagram and all that, most of them don't wear bras under the dresses because we build cups inside it. But if I measure you when your boobs are looking saggy and you wear it, then it's going to look saggy where the dress is made as well. So just those kind of things that I always say, pull your bra up, until where I it looks not like you'll put it up and you'll be up to here, but put it up until where it looks appealing, and then you take like the bust points and stuff like that.
Like a dress like this now. Did you? I know this is flare, but this doesn't look like flare. So did you just measure yards and
This is
join at the
actually
back all
flare.
the way?
Yes, this is actually
Okay.
flare. I'm going to show you. Can you see? Can you see there's a joining here? This is one flare. There are about three flares at the back of this dress because that's the only way you can get flare in a length that you don't have to start cutting triangle. I cut for two. I cut the flare and we just gather it back together. So you can see there's a joining here. If you open up this joining, you see that is actually, can you see? You see that? So it's almost like I cut a lot of flare triangles and joined them line by line. With tool, you can't see it. With fabric, you see it. So if you're going to cut that length with fabric, then that means you have to, a way to, disguise the lines because lines don't look pretty in dresses. So you have to look for like appliques or something to design to cover it up. Or if you're using like maybe fabric that is busy, then it won't show even if you have lines on them. Yeah.
I was going to ask about the how do you manage the bulky parts under the machine? Now, by the time you had all the layers, and
So, do you use an industrial machine?
I have one, but I
Okay,
don't use it as much.
you have to start trying to use industrial machine. Because what you do with industrial machine is that you can lift up the foot. You can lift up the foot of the machine so that your the bulkiness can fit under the foot for you to fit it. So you can adjust the foot of your machine.
I've tried that actually. Well, maybe sorry, I didn't know that I could lift
Yeah,
it
you
that
can lift
much.
it. You
Ah,
can lift it. There's a limit to where you can lift it, but with things like this that is tool, you fit it. With things that are hard, you have to use your hand. You have to sew it. Yeah, you have to sew it with your hand. With things that are really stiff, like if you put a lot of stay and stuff like that, that breaks the needle. Either you use needles for leather that are very very strong, or you use your hand and sew it just to put it together. Once it's together, you can fit it into the machine. Another thing I do is that when you put a lot of things together that is bulky, and you want to use in the machine, you only need the thing to join together, right? Like let's say you're doing not gathers, like let's say you're doing cascade. You fold the cascade and then it's very bulky. What you do is trim out the last two layers, for example, until it becomes slim enough. All you need is what is joining the fabric together. So once you've joined it together, you just trim out the excess so that it won't be like bulky or too full. So you just trim out the excess at the bottom.
because I actually have a cloth that I'm working on. It's
Hmm.
doll face,
Okay.
and then I have linings on the I had stay on both
I
linings. So
mean, which the soft one or the hard one?
the soft one,
Okay.
but doll face is thick on its own,
Yes.
and then with the lining, and then it's two
Are you
layers.
putting anything over the doll face? I put any applique or
No, not well. That will come after.
okay.
But
No, that's what I'm asking because you can't put estee on doll face. It will crinkle the fabric. So you start seeing the fabric bubbling. You rather double the lining, but you cannot put it on the face of the fabric because you start seeing it squeezing and
no, on the
bubbling.
reverse side.
Yes. On the outside, except you're covering it with applique.
No, it's on the reverse.
Okay. No. On the reverse, but it will bubble. You iron it on, right? Yeah. So once you iron it, you will start seeing the outside that is bubbling. So we should only iron on the inside. If you want it to be really really stiff, then use the one that is not iron. Use the one that is single by itself. You're not going to iron it on the fabric.
How do you create your perfect illusion neckline? Because I think that's something I always see, and I'm like, how is this done? There was one you were wearing recently. I think the blue native for Mochedo's wedding. Yes, and that was perfect too. So like, how?
What I usually do is I match my skin. I have different shades of the illusion tool, and because most black women we're about the same, we have like a variety of shade, but wait, like what will work for me will work for you. For example, I dye my tool to match. I have them dyed to match. Also, like for example, my client, even some of my clients that don't come here, I tell them go to Mac. There are Mac stores in Nigeria, so I tell them go to Mac store, check what foundation goes with your skin tone. They will say NW45, and I will look for a tool that matches NW45 as much as I can. And most of the time, is usually it usually blends with the skin color. But I always do a skin test. I always put it on because your body is lighter than your face. So I always do a test here to make sure that it's the right match. And but if you don't find it, I'm not sure. I'm still looking for. If I don't find, then maybe it's something that I have to start bringing into Nigeria. Is to find dyes because most people actually dye to match. If you want the true illusion color, they dye to match. So maybe you just get like a dark dye or mixture, or I think brown and yellow gives you caramel or something like that. I'm not sure about my color wheel, but you can find out about dyeing as well. So you can just get tool. It can't be this kind of tool. It has to be something that has a bit of stretch, because if you use kind of, you might start to tear rip exactly. So um, you can get dye and just dye to match. You mentioned before that you left your day job to do this.
Oh
So
yeah, no,
this
no.
is a priority.
This is a priority
So
now.
you should definitely do, if you can, I would definitely advise you to study something. I wish I did business part of fashion. I will still do it. I'm still working on doing that, but I wish I had done that because it helps you with structure. There's so many things I've lost, some time that I've lost because I did not have a good structure, which is they actually teach you that in fashion school. So you're either looking at the wrong fashion schools or yeah,
What courses would you advise,
there are
basically?
business management
Okay.
courses, there are risk courses. I mean, this is beside because you don't want to do fashion jobs because you want to make pretty clothes. You want to make earn a living out of it. So you have to study the business of fashion. You have to, for example, recently I was like, why am I losing money? People would think, oh, she has a lot of money, but I'm like, I'm losing money. I have too much inventory. I had to start getting rid of mine because there's nowhere I go to. I must buy fabric. And then I just started. I was just have to take buying a lot of everywhere I go. So I buy fabric and keep it. I buy fabric and keep it. And I'm like, why am I? Why is that? It doesn't add up. I'm making this many dresses and I'm not having this much in my account. What's going on? And then I found out I have millions in inventory. That I'm not using yet. So, which is something I've also had to work on. If I go somewhere, I don't need this fabric, I'm not buying it. I only buy what I need, and maybe something that is really unique. Yes, once in a while, you buy whatever is you find that is unique and keep it. But something that you can find another time, I don't do it. So I don't. The money I'm supposed to be using for the business aspect, I don't keep it in stock. I have a, I have to. I'm always doing sales because I've bought so much fabric that I needed to get rid of, which are the kind of things that they will teach you if you go to a good fashion school. They will teach you the structure. They will teach you, things to watch out for, things not to do. I wish I had this opportunity to learn from people that had done it before me to say, don't, pay tailors contracts, don't pay them salary, stuff like that, just because, for example, with my tailors, I used to pay salaries before. I had to stop paying salaries because I realized that they were taking their time to do things that they could have done in 2 days. They would take a week to do it because they know they're going to get paid at the end of the month. But with contracts, they know that what they are making is what they're getting paid for. However, you have to watch them because it makes them start rushing things because they want to make a lot of money. So you tell them, if you're going to rush this thing, I'm going to go back on it and I'm still going to pay you the same amount. So if they're supposed to spend 2 days to do it, and they want to spend one day to rush it, then they spend 1.5 days, just to make sure, okay, I want to do this thing well. I don't want to go back on this outfit so that I can make the next one. So this they will teach you a lot of stuff. I think you should have a background in, if you want to do it as a business. I think you should, even if you continue doing it, you don't want to stop school, you don't want to stop working totally. If that's where you're getting some sort of income from, you should do it on the side. You should definitely have some sort of training on the side. So, as aspiring designers, some of you have been in it for a while. I wish you all the best. It's not easy. You're gonna get frustrated. That's a given when it comes to the territory. But don't give up. Keep striving and always learn. Just try to learn as much as you can. If you don't find anyone that is answering you on Instagram that wants to mentor you, go on. Go. You have data. Go on YouTube. Say, how do I, cut this thing? How do I learn on YouTube? So and there are all other things online, Google, that you can find people that put stuff out there for you to learn. And don't insult your customers. No matter how upset it gets you, trust me, I've gotten all sorts of interactions with clients. Just be as calm as you can, because at the end of the day, word of mouth, even not everybody's money is meant for you. That's the truth. But at the end of the day, word of mouth it means a lot. If someone's going to say, that person, so please don't go to her again, that person is so nasty. But if someone, even if something, a situation happened, the way you handle it would affect whatever people are going to say about you. So I wish you all the best. I hope you've learned something,
Lots.
and I hope you're able to apply it into everything that you're doing. And I really wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.